Welcome back to another video, and today I'm finishing the last page in my sketchbook, which just so happens to be the first page. Now, I've technically already come up with some concept sketches for it. I'm gonna go with this one right here, and I'm actually gonna save this one for my new sketchbook. So you'll see both of these designs, basically just two different videos. I went with this design over this one because this one has my new Akitsu design, my redesign if you will, and I just want to kind of keep that new design with the new sketchbook because I made this design at the end of 2024, so I feel like it makes sense to start the new sketchbook with a new design versus this sketchbook, which I've had since February of 2024, with the new design that doesn't get even mentioned until the end. So I'm gonna go with this one, but I haven't quite figured out who this is or what they really look like. This is just the best I did. It was kind of a quick sketch, to be fair. I like this one more, but I decided to save that one. So if we go back to the first page, yeah, I never put my name here. It's always the last thing I do. If we go back to the first page, then as you can see, I've got the dates all ready to go. And we can start sketching. Now for this, I think I'm gonna go ahead and use my Ohu markers. I have them off to the side over here, and I'll bring them closer when that's time. And then I also have my colored pencils nearby so that I can kind of do some overlaying with that. And I'm gonna sketch in a coal erase pencil. And I wanted to do blue for reasons that don't make sense now that I'm thinking about it. But my blue one isn't down here anyway, so we'll go green. I think I'll just quickly look back. So it's basically just an artist painting, sketchbook number 2. So I think it makes most sense to start with the character then, because the hand placement will determine where I put the letters. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm guessing I'll just make this a random person. I don't think I'll make it like a character, or a character as in OC, I should say. Or I won't do like my persona or even me, because I don't know why. I don't have a reason for it. I feel like it doesn't make sense. So I guess it also depends on how big I want to make this. I also have to do a character from behind, and I haven't done that in forever. Oh, I've already messed up. What if we center person from the front, and if we just erase some lines. Now it's our character from the back. We'll figure that hand out later. Okay, we've got a very rough sketch. I will be the first one to admit that. Let's go in with the hair, I guess. Okay. It's something. Yeah, something like that. It wasn't too hard, but the idea was also super simple, so I guess that kind of makes sense. Now, what do I want to do? I do have my kneaded eraser, so I might go over this really lightly because color erase pencil will show up under my markers. I guess depending on how light of markers I use. Okay, I think... Oh, if I use marker, these pages are gonna get ruined. I didn't plan for that. I don't want that to happen. I actually like these pages. Shoot, I did not plan that far ahead. I have Posca. I just got new arrtx markers, the acrylic ones. I could use those because I know neither of those. Well, Posca sometimes bleed through, but so far the arrtx haven't. I used them in the back of my sketchbook and there's no bleeding on the other side. I think that's what I'll do, and then I'll still use my colored pencils maybe over top, because as much as I do want to use my Ohu markers, I really don't want to sacrifice these pages. I planned ahead in my next sketchbook for that. I didn't in this one because I forgot about the first page. So I'll be right back. Behold. And the sticker sheet. They're gonna be out of frame, but here they are. I did a swatch page at the very end. It was like the last page I did it on. So here are all my colors. And so I think I'll go ahead with those. I kind of like the green. So what greens do we have? Quite a few. I made a proper swatch card, and then when I went and got the markers, I completely forgot to grab it. So now I have to try and figure out which marker is which based on this. Because I didn't number them. But I think we could do like dark hair maybe, and then like a lighter dress. I'm thinking of these two colors right now, and I think that might be good. Because I think that's 57 for the light one. And everyone's favorite number 69 for the darker one. And then after that, we'll go from there, because I can just layer on top of them if I decide I want to change something. And I think it makes most sense to start with the dress, since I'll be layering the hair over top of it anyway. Yeah, and then I'll probably go over it with a second coat. It's a bit hard to tell where I'm like coloring and like how it looks because of my light, but if I look off to the side, then I can kind of see more of like the streaks and stuff, so I will definitely go in with a second layer. There was 57. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the hair, and I guess while I do that, I can kind of talk about the markers and give my own little review that no one asked for. But I got these for Christmas. They were not sent to me in any way, shape, or form. So far I would say I haven't used them too much. I haven't used them to like make an entire piece or anything. But I have used them in my sketchbook, kind of messing around with them and like playing with them and like seeing what all they can do and like how they layer on each other and everything. And so far I really like them. I like how opaque they are. I like the colors. It looks like when I downloaded the swatch sheet, at least, there are more options. This set, here I'll grab the box. This set is just what I saw like everyone else using when they were like, it was all over my Instagram feed. So that's what I bought. That's the set my parents bought me that I requested. And so I'm pretty happy with the color selection. if you use a lot of orange, you might be a bit disappointed. I mentioned it in another video, but my colored pencils have very limited orange selection, and so I found it hard to make something with that. And then these also have like a pretty limited orange selection. There are like 2 true oranges you can use, and then there's like a yellow orange. But if you're not using orange that much, then you're fine. Tons of colors to choose from, lots of pinks, purples, blues, and greens. That's where I was going with that. And then they do layer really nicely on top of each other. I have not really had any issues with like any colors not layering on top of the other. I got a bit of like lifting when I used a lighter color on top of a darker color, but that's because I didn't let it dry completely. And yeah, I would say watch out for streaking, so just make sure you go over it a couple times. And then make sure you just store them down like this with the nib at the bottom, because that's how the ink flows. And the case is kind of a pain in the butt, as some people may have like said. Might be able to kind of show you, but like there are these little notches at the bottom, and that's where each pen goes. And because they don't like stay straight up, it can be kind of hard to see where you pulled a pen from. So I'm gonna try and figure out a different storage solution for them, but for now, they stay there because I don't have a solution. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about them. If you have any questions about them, you can leave a comment and I'll answer it if I have the answer. Otherwise, I will just say, I have no idea. Or maybe someone else will have the answer. So that was 69. And I put all my colors up there. And then, oh, one thing is, unless you're getting kind of creative with the skin tones, there aren't really a lot. Like here's kind of your pale color, unless you want to go for like straight up pink, and then these are kind of the only 2 browns. There's this one as well, which is more of a gray brown. And for the swatch sheet, I can kind of So this one is this really pale color. Whoops, I'll just hold it. This one is this really pale color. Oh, the sun's coming out. There's these ones, I believe, and then I think that is that one. So there's those 3, and I guess you could use this tan color as well. So if you're looking for skin tone colors, this is not the best, I would say. But since it's also technically paint, you could always just mix up your own skin tone and then add color over top. So back to the front page. Let's see, skin tone. That's why I started mentioning it. I think I'm just gonna go with the pale color and hope that it doesn't clash too much with what I've already done. And if it does, we pick a new color. Because even this pale color is technically a yellow, so it's a very yellow undertoned skin tone. So I'm sure there is, like, if you get a different box, I'm sure there's better colors for it, like skin tones and stuff. I think they called it the like manga one, or not the manga, like anime one, because of the colors, I think is what I remember seeing. I think I'll use, oh, that was number 2. And then I'm gonna use 20 for maybe some shading or some blush. Since it's not a face, it's not like super necessary, but can kind of do that. And then I'm not liking how this is turning out. Or at least I don't really have to see it again. Let's just go wild. That pink was number 20. This one is 22. And I'm gonna do pink and green, so I'll just go ahead and do Sketchbook. And then just as, I guess just so you know, they are brush tip. They are only one-sided though, which makes sense when you think of like how the ink flows, but just so you know. And then this is the first time I've really gone over pencil with these, and so you can kind of see that the green pencil is showing up under the pink. So I will go over that with another layer, I think. And then I think I'll actually use it for the paint tray as well. And because they're opaque, I can just plop the paint colors right on top once it dries. I'm like notoriously bad at inking stuff, so I'm kind of hesitant to like ink it afterward, but who knows, we'll see. I think I'll go back to this 20 color and write in the days. So that was February 27th, the end of February. To December 31st, 2024. It was one of my goals to finish my sketchbook before the year ended because I only had like a handful of pages left. So that's why it worked out so perfectly. So there's the dates. A bit difficult to read. There we go. Maybe. Whoa. Okay. I don't know if that really solved anything, but there's another layer on it. And then maybe... would it be weird to put this color in the hair? I think so. I think so. We'll just leave it. And then we'll grab the 22 color again and put some paint on the palette. There we go. Totally looks like a palette. And then I think I'll just leave it there. Like that's kind of that was the vision, and honestly, I'm okay with it. Was it really what I wanted? No, but did I take the time to explore and think of so many ideas? Also no. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this is okay. I'm sorry if it's not what you were expecting. Be on the lookout for this sketchbook tour and the first page / cover. We're getting regal up in here. Of my third sketchbook, which should be coming out at the end of the month. So thank you so much for watching. All my links and everything are in the description. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye!